Hey everyone!
You never tell me when we're on.
You would never tell you.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter whether we're doing D&D or we're doing this show. Hey everyone, welcome to Books and Brew. We obviously have a bit of a different setup today. We're not sitting at the couch, we're at our own desks.
I almost choked on green tea.
Is it any good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Yeah. Here in Books and Brew, usually we bring some sort of drink out. Today we got some green tea.
I've already had way too much coffee, but I'm dead inside, so hopefully this helps.
I was like, maybe it'll help. Who knows? Oh, you know what it is? And I say this every time it's Books and Brew time.
Thank God
it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday, everyone. I don't know how long I've been waiting for it.
Since Monday.
Yes.
Since Sunday. Since Sunday night, I've been waiting for it to be Friday night. That sucks.
I was telling Amber this, and you remember this. I was telling you after Books and Brew.
I am Amber. Sorry for the motorcycle. This is why we should have the window closed.
We have the window open because it is warm in here, and I think hopefully everything is fine for the rest of the evening. But if not, we'll close the window. We'll see what happens.
There's always that one douchebag.
There's always that one douchebag
that wants to blow the exhaust up. Not a very good bike.
Yeah. No, but I was telling you last time when we finished Books and Brew from last week. Is that it felt so good to stream. Yeah, I felt like I was missing something because of course we've had a few weeks off from Magic and Mosstead.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that we're getting back into it. Honestly, I missed it. And we have so much.
Wait, hold on. Let me see if my finger can do it. Our
Yep.
logo is right there.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Just Beat It, once again. Just Beat It 21, I believe, or 23.
And then, a little bit.
There it is.
That's Gina Lee, and then it's Chatterbox, but you'll probably see those tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to have way more things to show during Magic and Mosstead, which I'm really excited. We have a new overlay.
Shit, I forgot I'm the note taker, so I have a note wherever we were. I know what island we're on.
We're on Anburn.
I think we left off with oh, is Aaron joining us or no? Did you message him?
I will message him now.
Jeez, social media manager yelling at you.
Hey, you're doing
having this guy on or
You're
no?
doing a great job as a social media manager. I'll say that much. I will message him now. Just say, hey, just making sure if you're joining us.
Yes, we're calling you out on the other stream. Are you joining us or not? So I can put it in the post.
I'll put a smiley face at the end.
Because that helps.
Hey, I always think of, I always remind myself of Boondocks when the two white guys are like texting each other or texting something. He's like, smiley face. I sent her one. Bitches love smiley faces. I love that show. Well, today I was gonna talk about seances, and then I realized because
Can I type in here? Is this my user? Oh no, this is you. This is us. Okay.
Yeah, that is our chat. I think you could still type though.
Yeah, it's arcane. I was saying like as mine, as my personal. I think that fucks it up too much.
So there is a rule here. There is a rule here about seances that you can do, and there's like a preparation from it and how to conduct it, but it doesn't really give you like a rule set. More or less it's just sort of how to describe what a seance is for someone who doesn't even know what a seance is.
It's probably because they don't want you conjuring up some actual shit because you were trying to do the D&D seance.
I guess so, but I decided we would only touch upon it and not really discuss it, mainly because it is very story driven. And what I mean by that is that Ravenloft actually has a campaign in there, like a little story that you can follow.
There's so many source books because I keep ordering source books that keep popping up, and I'm like, I just have to work to support my D&D habit and like to live.
Gaming of all types is a very expensive habit to have. It's a very expensive hobby.
But you've read them more than me. I keep buying them, but
I know. Hey, they're at your fingertips though. Yeah, so we're going to talk about talk about a few monsters here, and then lastly we'll talk about DM prep time. Probably a discussion that never really gets discussed a lot. What's going on, Shady? Shady is joining us again, flashing off that Nat 20 emote. There you go.
Sorry, I was responding to Discord.
Yeah, look at this, Temple. We got Silver in here, Temple, one of our players. Nice, clean, boxed area here we got going on.
It's kind of like the stream already. I don't know. I felt like this was better because you can't really see us from over there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can see the cat giving a shit face to another cat, or he's asleep. I don't know.
That's true.
But I feel like this is more personal, even though like we thought the couch was better. I don't know.
I don't know.
We're
Who knows what we'll do with that couch
figuring
now?
it out.
Honestly, I don't want to get rid of it.
No.
And I do want to
It's
get
a
rid of it.
bitch to get up the stairs.
Yeah.
It's staying there.
Well, I want to talk about a few monsters here that you may be interested in. Maybe you want to use in your own game, and we'll definitely talk about DM prep time, which is something that I don't think a lot of people talk about, and we definitely should talk about. Who's winning? Hopefully we are.
Yeah, Gritty. I don't know, man. You know how the internet is. You buy one thing and it's like, here's 10 other things to go with your one thing you bought. Okay?
Why don't you have Or's gaming chairs? They haven't given them to me yet.
He's new.
I haven't even gotten the stream yet. Oh, it'll happen soon.
Technically, I don't work there. Mine's a cougar gaming chair.
Oh, downstairs, huh?
Yeah. I used to borrow some of the studio chairs, and then I bought one of my own because it doesn't hurt my back.
From the New Egg Studio, just to clarification. All right, so let's talk about the first one.
So told me I couldn't roll one out the door. To use your
Caron.
struggling. Sound it out. Easy words.
Carrion. Here, read that for me.
That person.
On the right.
Carrionet?
Carrionet. See?
Wait.
No?
Wait, one's Carrion and one's Carrionet. Which one are you trying to read?
No, you got Carrionet. Carrionet. That was it. Let me show a picture for you guys.
That was a way different word than what he was trying to say.
There we go. Let me see if I got that right. Look at that freaky doll. Do you see that? And it's got like a pin, because it's actually a very tiny creature.
Yeah, it's got a pin.
They're basically dancing dead dolls. Exactly. So, carrionets arise from innocent inventions. Heart-filled wishes breathe life into the beloved toy. So it first starts off an inanimate object.
This sounds like a live voodoo doll. Not because I know or anything, but
You're not.
I'm just gonna. That's what this sounds like.
You are not far off. You're definitely right. It says here, your heartfelt wishes breathe life into this beloved doll, and for a time, the creator might feel blessed of their new companion. They start off as kind of nice, but clarionets aren't content to life as toys and seek to escape their confines of their diminutive bodies.
Wait, so they want to die or they just want a bigger host?
They essentially don't like the body. They're fine with their bodies at first. They're like, oh, I have a companion. This is great. But you're going off doing stuff, and I'm stuck here in the toy box. I want more. I don't like what I'm in.
Sounds like angry Tinkerbell.
Almost sounds like an angry toy from Toy Story.
Well, because Tinkerbell's always pissed that he's always leaving her there.
Yeah.
She's always so tiny she could fly, but she always gets stuck somewhere.
Says here, every carrionet possesses a silver needle that pins its soul to its body. By poisoning it as simple toys or hiding their desires, the clarinet gets close to an unsuspecting victim. Then it uses its needle to swap the souls with the victim, stealing the victim's body.
Oh, that's charming.
While trapping the victim's soul in its own doll-like form. So that's actually, it's not a very tough monster, but this definitely could be like a low-level boss character.
Sorry, if I move or I look down constantly, it's because I have a cat underneath my foot and I'm trying not to squish her.
Yeah, I like how grinning was like, it is an evil Toy Story. It essentially is. They're like Pinocchio that really want to be a real boy, but this time they want to do it with force and some black magic.
Temple thinks we're making a movie. Gotta patent that shit.
There's a movie with this premise. I know, it probably is.
We own the rights to that script. Leave out the Toy Story part.
But it says here, clarinets might appear as any type of toy or piece of art. While marionettes and porcelain dolls are the more common, all matter of deadly snuffed animals, crawling jack in the boxes, bloodthirsty puppets, murderous jewelry box ballerinas, and so forth, maybe clarinets.
Stuffed or snuffed?
Stuffed.
He says snuffed.
Well, you know me with words. Not the best at them.
I mean, to be fair, we do this show on Fridays when our brains don't work anymore.
That's true. We should get a pass. I should get a pass.
No. I don't fuck up this many words.
The funny thing is, you should never give me a pass, because if you give me an inch, I'll take a mile.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, I'm just tired. And I knew I fucked up.
I'm tired. Today we're actually tired because we had to get up at crack of dawn. I had to be at work very early.
I was at work 2 hours early. That was fun. Let's see here. These malicious toys are skilled deceivers and, despite having existed for generations, often affect unsettling childlike personalities.
That's a good idea, Shady. Just have a party member that's snooping get pricked by a carionet and switched, but the party doesn't know it.
Yeah.
I feel like there's probably going to be eventually, because this happened, I mean, a similar scenario happened in our Sunday campaign, but there was eventually certain things that this character was so used to doing, like almost religiously, that they weren't doing anymore, and the group was like, the fuck is wrong with this dude?
So, I did come up with a little bit of a scenario using this monster, and I want to run it by you guys, see if you like it. Maybe if you like it, it's something you can use in your campaign.
I just want to be a little asshole carionet going around shanking people, switching bodies left and right.
So obviously your party, I would say at a low level, because these, I'll go over the stats in a bit, but these clarinets are not very tough. You can pretty much kill them if you're high enough level, or if you get a few good shots on them. It won't take too many rounds.
Quick question though, can they switch bodies multiple times or only like once?
I don't know, but there is a stat about soul swaps, and we'll get to that in a second. It's a good question, though. The scenario is as follows. Imagine you go into a small town, bustling, more of a not a rural place, but more of a metropolis, something more industrialized and built up. One of your party members decides to go to a general shop that sells all sorts of things. Potions, armor, toys, books, plants, just a generalistic shop. And the shop owner is just so ecstatic to talk to you, and every time someone comes in, they're like just so bright and beautiful and just like, I'm having the best day of my life. How's your day? How's it going?
Don't challenge fate like that.
Do you need something? I'll get it for you. I'm heading out to go get some drinks. Do you want to come with? You know. And you start hanging out with them, you're like, this NPC is really cool. And then as you're having drinks, some of the locals actually come to you and go, John, the one you're hanging out with, he's usually an asshole. He's never this happy. Why is, like...
How dare you be happy in
no,
your
like,
life?
like, he is super, like, this is beyond happy. Like, he's going to the flower beds and, I love life. Like, one of those things. And everyone's like, this is not John or Mary or whatever NPC you give this guy. And if you're players and you truly want to investigate this, you start looking into it. What is going on with this guy? Why is everyone saying that he shouldn't be acting this way? And soon you find, moving inside the back room of this man's house is a moving doll whose body got swapped with a clarinet. And obviously now the clarinet is in the real body, enjoying the life given to him.
He's not an instrument.
Huh?
Carionet. You keep saying clarinet.
Oh, yeah, carionet, whatever it is. But essentially, the person you've been hanging out with used to be a doll stuck in its own small form and has swapped bodies with its owner.
I have a question. What if the doll just wanted like a new body? Yeah, that's kind of creepy. But what if the person that they switch if, like you said, it was just a complete asshole. And like, what if they were like, not only were they an asshole, like what if they were just like a god-awful fucking person? Like, would you really feel sympathy?
Probably not. I mean, honestly, if you wanted to switch up the scenario a bit, you can definitely say like, all of a sudden the locals are like, John became a really cool person. You know, I don't know what happened, but like last week, he's
not a dick anymore.
He's not a dick. He's donating money to the poor. You know, he's helping out. My elderly mother was coming by and he helped her across the street. Like, John is a completely different person and I like it. And it may be that one small thing where you go, okay, this guy changed suddenly. Should we look into it?
Just leave it that way. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, what if they weren't, like, a good person, and the doll was just like, hey, I don't want this body anymore, but I'm not a dick. Like, what do you do?
Carionets are a great way to accidentally kill off a player. They're a small creature. They're not very hefty in terms of points, but they have a power where they can end you.
It doesn't say, like, they're neutral or whatever, right? Or it doesn't say they're evil? Or I'm just assuming because it's Ravenloft, they're kind of...
It doesn't give you...
like their alignment?
Yeah, their alignment.
I'm assuming... Well, yeah, you can't really take on somebody's alignment.
So let's go ahead and read a little bit about the stats of the Carionet.
Pretty much, man.
They have an armor class of 15, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they're bulky and hard to hit. It just means that they're small and hard to pinpoint. Point down, but they only got about 27 HP.
You sound like those fucking pixies in the Harry Potter. Those fairies were dicks.
I like to think, and this is something good to remember, especially those who are trying to create a monster or a creature for your party to interact with or fight, is that AC does not equal sturdiness.
Yeah, those.
AC equals how hard it is to hurt this person, whether that means they are armored to fuck, or they are tiny and small and moving, darting a little around. It's hard to pinpoint and get them. So, a pixie, I believe, actually has a high AC, but very little HP. Makes sense, because when you finally smack a bitch, she's gonna go down.
We don't like pixies in the main campaign, or Vera,
Why? They didn't
Vera doesn't make... Vera doesn't trust them. Because they're mischievous. They did put a dude in the fucking hole. They buried a guy to here and left him there.
Yeah.
And then stole a little old man's cart of wine.
Well,
they're not nice.
We should talk about that when we're talking about Magic Mossad. People might get confused. So
something that happened in our main campaign.
So for instance, when it comes to this creature, they have a few natural abilities, and one of them is the false object ability.
Sorry, the cats grabbed my foot and it scared me.
Ooh, imagine a lich used this Carionet as a phylactery.
Words.
Yeah. So false object. If a Carionet is motionless at the start of the combat, it has advantage on its initiative rolls. Moreover, if a creature hasn't observed the Carionet move or act, the creature must succeed a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw. DC 15 Perception check to discern if the Carionet is animated or not. In addition, this creature does not require sleep, drink, food, anything else, substance. It's an inanimate object. What do you expect? It's got a few actions. It's got its Silver Needle attack. It has a +4 to hit, and it does one piercing damage, only one, plus 1d6 necrotic damage. And upon hit, a creature must succeed a DC 12 Charisma saving throw, or become cursed for 1 minute. Now, here's their other action, and this is what we were talking about with the Soul Swap.
Yeah.
It actually is called Soul Swap. It targets a creature that it can see within 15 feet of it. Doesn't even need to be 5. 15 feet of it. And if it's cursed by the Silver Needle, so when you get hit by the Silver Needle, you get cursed.
Sleeping Beauty.
Well, essentially, if it stabs you and you fail the saving throw, you're cursed. And if you are cursed, then it can activate Soul Swap. And if, as long as it sees you within 15 feet, you must succeed a DC 12 Charisma saving throw, or have your consciousness swapped with a Carionet. The Carionet gains the control of the target's body, and the target is unconscious for 1 hour. After which it gains control of the Carionet's body, and while controlling the target's body, the Carionet retains its intelligence, charisma, and charisma saving throws or scores. Otherwise, it has everything else that you had.
I have a question though. Like, once you switch bodies, can whoever you switch with that's now in the doll use the needle to get their body back, or like it only works if your soul uses it?
It says that you swap the consciousness and your souls around.
Because you literally could just be running around poking each other with this needle, swapping back.
I definitely would say that you would have the stats of the Carionet. Okay. So you could probably curse someone and then swap bodies with them, even if it's your same body. But again, they'd have to fail a saving throw. 2 saving throws. Specifically, they have to be cursed and then swapped.
Yeah. No, I know, Shady. I'm just saying, like, I wonder if it works with somebody else other than, like, the entity that belonged in the doll in the first place.
Here's the crazy thing. If the Carionet's body is destroyed, both the Carionet and the target die. So if you were the target of the curse...
Can't even kill the doll.
Can't even kill... Yeah.
Can't even burn the doll.
Well, it's so that's why... in my scenario that I painted, is that the shop owner was kept inside of a locked drawer. Because obviously the Carionet doesn't want to destroy the body, because then it dies.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah. So it gets pretty bad. A protection from good and evil spell cast on the controlled body drives the Carionet out and returns the consciousness of both creatures to their original bodies.
Good thing you guys got cleric.
The swap is also undone if the controlled body takes damage from the Carionet's silver needle. Oh, so there's no save needed. As long as you can stab your body again, you can swap back.
That's a weird sentence.
You gotta stab your body again.
That looks like one of the naked cats, but evil. Sorry, I can see the book from here.
Yeah, I'm swapping the pages here.
I should show the books and Brew shirt. I do have one. It's just I came home from work and didn't want to change shirts. I will show it if Mike is not done looking through the book.
No, you wanna go get something?
Yeah, I'll go grab it.
All right.
Hold on, let me on Mike.
Go ahead and do so. And I believe I will talk about maybe some DM tips.
What the hell is this? Don't touch it, kitty.
So the doll has the needle after the switch. Why doesn't everything just stab it right back? So the doll actually has only 25 feet of movement. So if the Carionet that takes your body, and again, it can do the swap within 15 feet. Let's just say this. You're a level 5 fighter, and you got an AC of 17, and it has, the Carionet, by its own stats, has a +4 to hit. You gotta roll fairly high to hit over that 17. So if I was the Carionet, and I stabbed you, the level 5 fighter, and I swapped bodies with you, all you need to do is stab me back. You need to get 1 solid hit. Okay. Action. Grab you, put you in my bag, tie it up. So it's a very, very interesting situation where you'll have maybe a few tries to actually stab me back, switch bodies. But if I'm a smart Carionet, I'm not going to give you that option. I'm going to try my best not to. Definitely there will be times if I want to put you in a box or in a shelf or in a drawer, I'll have to take you out of the bag. But to be honest, as long as I don't kill you, I get to live life in your body.
I didn't know you got a shirt too.
I did? Oh yeah. By the way, everyone, we've got some really awesome merch here. I'm gonna show off some old school merch here that I got.
Yeah, we have merch. It's just sometimes we show it.
We've got the Arcane Focus outline black shirt, a very slick design of our own logo, and something simplistic, something not too flashy that I know that Steve has, and I think Temple has, and you have.
I have it.
Now we all have it. Hey, we got a uniform. Great.
We got a uniform.
Yeah. And one of our newest ones. Oh no, you didn't get that. You got the Books and Brew shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, show it off.
The baseball tee.
We got the Books and Brew shirts made by, again, we have our lovely logo of a little small arcane book and a little coffee cup. I guess they wouldn't know that. Yeah, that's a good point. They wouldn't really know to stab back to switch, but the body has that lag after the switch. That is right! I forgot about that stat. Yes, after you're swapped, you're unconscious for an hour.
Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe if you've seen it prick you with a needle, then maybe you would prick it back.
You would wake up after an hour and go, I need to prick it back. Who knows?
Or see what it does.
I would say that if you got swapped with the Carionet has instant control, and the character has to wait an hour before taking any action. I would rule the same exact way, just like I was written. Just you got swapped, and your Carionet body goes, and your party doesn't know any wiser. Maybe all of a sudden it's like, haha, we're gonna go on an adventure, guys. You don't know.
If you got switched to the Carionet and you ate a pickle, I knew it was you.
Yeah. You want to talk about real life?
Mike fucking
I hate pickles. Yeah, I don't like them. I don't like vinegar as a whole.
There's something that you do. Oh, you like salt and vinegar chips, and you used to hate those.
I could barely stand that.
And no, you eat like half the bag now.
No, like that's the bare, like the max I can do.
There is something pickled that you do like, and I can't remember what it is. But
purple onion? No,
it's because it doesn't taste like a pickle.
Cabbage. Purple cabbage. I like purple cabbage. It's pretty good.
Yeah, but that's not pickled. That's like the Northwoods Inn shit.
Is that mixed with like vinegar?
It's rice wine vinegar.
Oh, rice wine. Kimchi? Kimchi's pretty good.
He'll eat a little bit of it.
Cook it in with something? I can't eat it by itself.
I can eat it by itself.
Whoever you switch with
do that every time there's a firework.
Oh, you know what's crazy? Is this how you can tell that I've been swapped with a Carionet? Is if I can read without messing up. If I had perfect English.
Or you have a fucking pixel in your hand at all times, and you'll still turn to me and go, how do you spell this? Because you say I'm faster than Google.
I am a horrible speller. Absolutely horrendous.
I think the pickle thing would trip me off because I always bug you about it, and you're like, nope.
Nah, I can't do it. I can't do it. That's gross.
Or if you don't like candy anymore.
Ooh.
That would be a big.
Yeah, that's a big giveaway. What would be your giveaway if you got swapped with a little toy, evil toy?
I think if I liked pink or something.
Oh yeah, like that'd be crazy.
I mean, I don't mind like this mauve color, but I have very few things that color. Like I think I have a sweater that color, and that's about it.
And I think if you became bubbly, if you became really bubbly, really excited, if you became a morning person.
I used to be a morning person, but that's because I got paid to be a morning person, and I used to be in track, and they yelled at me.
Oh, I'm talking about recent now. That's years ago.
I still got up. I had to be at work at 7:30. I got there in time. Didn't want to be though.
Whoever you switch with would have to be good at role playing, because if they are lame, they'd give it away too easily as a bitch and moan. That's a good point.
If I hated fries.
That's a good giveaway.
Fries or chips.
I would know you're fucking faker.
The fuck's wrong with you?
What'd you do with my wife?
Or I didn't want coffee.
Oh well.
I only don't want coffee if I'm sick or something.
Yeah, you'd have to be a really good RPer and someone who's cool with the idea that yes, your body is swapped, but there's still a chance of hope for you to swap back.
I thought of something nice. What if like you didn't have a use of like some of your limbs or something, and you wanted to be in the little doll?
You wanted to be in the little doll?
Yeah, like to move around. And you offered like a switch.
You know what would be this is what I would do if I was your DM and that was your suggestion. Carionets by nature, eventually, and like how it reads out is that eventually they get tired of their small form, like they want more out of life than what they are being used for or being seen as. So I would say, like how it's written, is that you would be cool with it. You'd be like, yeah, I'd be a Carionet. I don't have the, my bottom half, I don't have any legs. I would like to have like a way to dance and walk.
Even though you're gonna be about this big.
Even though you'd be this big. And I would definitely go, okay, you swap with a Carionet and now you're this small little thing. In about maybe 5 years, you're gonna go, I want a body, and you're gonna try to find someone else.
Yeah.
And then your alignment, I would definitely say at that point, your alignment is swapped. You're evil.
Yeah, because I was like, what if you want to be like swapped?
Oh, like this is the middle ground to fuck someone else over?
No, I mean like that scenario that I gave you, like you don't want the body you have, so you'll try that out for a little while.
I know, but then you
goes.
wouldn't want to swap to someone else.
Yeah.
So this is essentially the long game of becoming an evil player.
Pretty much.
That can be a good story hook too. That can something you can throw in your campaign.
Shady's asking, what if they were inhabited as spellcaster in a campaign where you require components, words, scrolls, and such?
The funny thing is, the way it was written is that when they swap bodies, the Carionet keeps its intelligence, wisdom, and charisma scores. So that tells me that they may keep their own consciousness and ideas and
You're just switching bodies, not like
Yeah.
not traits or abilities, I guess. Unless
they're only swapping bodies if you were like, let's say you were a wizard. You know, you went to wizard school, you got trained and everything, and you got swapped with a Carionet. I would definitely say that the Carionet doesn't know the intricacies of spell casting and probably wouldn't be able to cast spells in your body. And they probably wouldn't even care. The only thing a Carionet wants to have is your body and enjoying life as a human, or whatever humanoid creature you picked.
be funny for like wild sorcerer magic.
That would be honestly, I think that would be the only caveat that can work, is that if you swap body. That's a good point. If you swap bodies with a sorcerer who's a body and blood innately have magic.
It's like trying to do it, but then it gets turned into a potted plant. So now you were a doll, and now you're a potted plant.
Only for a while though.
No, I don't know, but it'd be great.
Or you turn into a sheep, or
God damn it!
Yeah.
Just got out of a stupid body. Now I'm back in another one.
I think that's a very interesting point.
What makes the Carionets though? They just exist, or somebody has to make them?
It seems like here that they are creations.
Yeah, so somebody had to make them.
They arise from innocent inventions. Basically, it's almost like someone grabbed a doll and was like, I wish you were my friend. Something very heartfelt, because it even says here, heartfelt wishes breathe life into this beloved toy. Maybe. Holy shit!
Don't give your kids dolls, man.
Imagine a small child who had a favorite toy in your D&D campaign. It comes up to you and goes, Roxy wants to say hello, and then holds up the toy, and then it doesn't move at all, and you're like, oh, hi, Roxy, and she goes, oh, hold on. She says you're very pretty, and she would love to be you.
I just thought of a creepy scenario that's pretty good.
Yeah?
You know how I think it's only certain types of hags swap babies, right?
All hags.
Oh, all hags swap babies? So what if, like, a hag went to a little kid's house and was like, here, play with this doll. You should wish it to come to life.
Ooh.
And then it wishes it to come to life. They fucking swap, but like the soul of the hag's kid is in there, so they swap. And nobody's none the wiser. Yeah, I know, I got a twisted mind, man. That's why I said watch out for this one shot. Like they imbue it with an essence, but the kid needs to wish for it to become alive, and then they swap.
So the kid just essentially gets fucked over because they swap into... I was thinking this. Wouldn't this be crazy? I'm gonna paint you a picture.
Mayor's kid's been acting odd lately.
I'm gonna paint a picture. This is gonna be really funny. We're gonna go one step deeper. So hags, by D&D standards, the way it works is that they will sneak into a house.
Them creepy bitches.
They would steal your baby and swap it with their own that looks exactly like you, or like the baby. And the baby grows up to a little kid, into a child, into a preteen, and on the little girl's 16th birthday is when they start to form into a hag, and that's how hags are born. And so imagine this: the body is destined to turn into a hag, correct? Mm-hmm. Imagine the hag comes in, right?
That's how they work?
Yeah, you go like that. And then they swap the body, right?
Uh-huh.
And so the baby grows up, and then the baby it grows into a kid, and all of a sudden it's got its favorite little toy, and it wishes it has friends, and the toy turns into a clarinet, and then they swap forms. Now the clarinet is like, I'm a little kid, I'm gonna grow up, I'm gonna be a person, I'm gonna be a thing. And then by the clarinet's 16th birthday, what the fuck's going on? Now you're a clarinet hag. You could be like a porcelain hag.
I don't know if the doll can change shape. That was my only thing with that.
It just swaps souls. It doesn't swap bodies. So your essence, or the clarinet's essence, would be in the hag's body. It's a ticking time bomb. Hey
man, I got awful ideas.
Porcelain hag. This is a good one. That's a good one. We're only on monster number 1, Amber.
Well, that's why I was like, you don't let me read the books. Come up with some awful shit.
We're on monster 1. How did that happen?
Because I sat here and thought about it long enough.
Yeah, that's true. We had a moment. We had a moment, and I'm glad we took it. Let's talk about something stupid. I honestly believe this is stupid.
Checks.
This monster is...
Stupid. I'm guessing. I don't know.
It's a very classic thing. I have a hard... Well, maybe if I read it
why do you think it's stupid?
It's called a brain in a jar.
Oh, like the philosophy thing?
Philosophy thing? Oh, you mean like...
the brain in the vat, and like you don't really have a body, it's just your brain living in the vat.
It's your brain connected to wires giving you senses that... Because we're all technically just brains piloting flesh suits.
Yeah. Well, no, not suit. Like there is no suit. You're just a brain
in a jar.
Yeah.
No,
sorry,
it's honestly. Yeah, we did psychology, sure.
No, mine was philosophy. I forgot who.
No, it's seriously just a brain in a jar.
It also kind of reminds me of Brainiac.
Brainiac?
From Superman.
I guess so. I was thinking more Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Shady got the same thing. It's Krang. Through rituals combining alchemy, necromancy, and grim surgical precision, the brain of a mortal being is encased in a glass jar filled with preservatives, preserving fluids and liquefied goop of their body's flesh.
I like the book though, Shady. Like flipping through the pages.
The transformation renders the brain ageless and imbues it with psionic powers. It can also spend eternity plotting and executing its desires. A brain in a jar can speak without vocal cords, psionically projecting its disembodied voice outwards for all to hear. It enjoys conversation so much that it is prone to talking for hours on end, sometimes to itself, if there are no others who can speak to. It also likes to think out loud, reflect on events and decisions that led to its great transformation.
I think humans do that too.
That's a good point. The brain floats in a jar of solution, pulsating as it reacts to its surroundings. Some brains have been known to thump against the walls of their containers when excited or vexed. A jar's metal casing might be rusty, but serviceable. Let's see here. Still, other brains desire nothing more than to regain its body. This might be the brain's original body. Essentially, the brain can be one of two things. It can either be eternal in this little casing and enjoy its time, or it wants to get a new body. But while it's in disembodied, the brain in the jar weighs roughly 125 pounds.
Shit!
Yeah! I was waiting for that one.
It's a fucking person. Okay, well, I have a question though. Like, what's stopping like a fucking, I don't know, not a giant, what was Grog?
Oh, barbarian?
No, his race.
Oh, Goliath?
Yeah. What's stopping for one of those dudes from just taking something and beating the shit out of it? Nothing?
I mean, I feel...
I feel like this is what would happen if you had somebody that was just like, I don't like that thing. Let me beat the hell out of it until it's just not my problem anymore.
If you were to drop a brain in the jar in a battlefield, let's say a clean plane, and then you put a barbarian on the other side, give the barbarian about a turn, maybe a turn and a half to get up there and just start fucking smacking the thing until it dies and it's out of HP.
Well, I just meant like, what if like you're going into not to give an example, but like how we went into the mansion and there was creepy shit in there. Like, what if you're just going into a building and that thing happens to be in there and you're like,
you kick its ass. You kick its ass. It'll do some damage. It'll try to do some psionic blasts to you, but do some damage. If I were going to use the brain in the jar, which I don't feel like I'll ever use it, essentially,
because you think it's stupid.
You want to build a map where the brain in the jar is like on the top of maybe a point, or maybe being guarded behind some glass, enough where it knows it has to protect itself from anything physical, but it can attack you from afar. It is a ranged monster that cannot move. It has a speed of what the fuck?
Granny. Jar plus brain plus water equals thick.
It's got a speed of 0, but it has a fly speed
of 90?
10 feet.
Oh.
So it's just like and just drops.
That reminds me of those brains in Futurama.
Essentially, yeah.
Like they're supposed to be smart, but they're not real. They can be outsmarted.
And now we're gonna leave for no reason. It does have an intelligence of 19. Makes sense. It's a brain in the jar that does nothing but talk, read, and investigate. Yeah, you have to... It doesn't actually have the power to mind control. It just has the power to do mind blasts. So I'll go and go over the stats real quick.
So it can hurt your brain with its brain?
Essentially. It thinks so hard it hurts. You know when we say those things where we're like, I'm thinking, oh, don't hurt yourself? This is like, I'm thinking, stop hurting me.
I just hit it with like an ice cantrip there.
I would definitely situate a brain in the jar behind some like really heavy duty glass so that you're like trying to smash the glass and the brain in the jar is just like fire, 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 fire. If it does stay hidden, I think honestly a brain in the jar would be a great
seems like an Oz type of thing.
Yeah, I would love it to be
curtain.
like an overseer. Like you're entering in this warehouse or something that has become one big trap and maze, and a brain in the jar just sits at the top and goes, "Welcome to my puzzle and I'm gonna test you all, or if you don't do well, you'll die."
My question is how they get in the jar. Like how do they come to be?
It says here through rituals combining alchemy, necromancy, and surgery.
So you just got this dude's brain, did some magic, and now it's a 125-pound brain in a big-ass fucking jar.
Hey man, he paid me 20,000 gold. I wasn't gonna say no. I don't give a shit. I got bills to pay. If you're a good surgeon who has loose morals, I'd take that job. So let's go over the stats. It has 11 AC, and it has 55 hit points.
Temple, it did it to itself?
Why does it remind me of something?
It reminds me of what you call
Dr. Frankenfurter or whatever it is. No.
Roll in the hay, and then he's like coming up behind the jar, the brains in the jar.
Oh, Frankenstein?
Yeah.
Yeah, the squishy brain has more AC than or more HP than the doll. Absolutely. It's
a fucking
125-pound brain. I be normal.
Yeah.
I got nobody. So it has detect sentience. The brain can sense the presence and location of any creature within 300 feet of it that has an intelligence of 3 or higher. Bam, we're getting some fireworks. They're excited for the brain.
People are just excited to light shit on fire over here, and I'm pretty sure in most places get remotely close to July.
I don't know why. The brain has advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. It has magic resistance. Woo! They're excited for that one. Imagine if you actually, now that everyone's saying Abby Normal, just make a brain in the jar called Abby Normal. And that was her whole goal, was to be normal.
And it's a wizard.
That's a good one-shot. That's a good one-shot. I'm writing that down one day.
Yeah, well, I don't think any of these creatures have alignment, so what if they're not awful? What if they're just like, I want somebody to talk to because all I do is talk to myself?
You can, I mean, honestly, you can be like House from Fallout.
Oh, I thought you were meant like the series. I was like a drug addict?
No. Mr. House from Fallout, he was just a businessman who wants to continue his business. Maybe you're just an entrepreneur. And you're like, oh man, this series of like inns I'm going to, and every city is like really ritzy and you know, they make a lot of money and then they're hiring me for jobs. Who runs this place? And they're like, you never see the boss.
Sorry, I thought of like a quirky one shot. Or a quirky idea. It's not enough for a one shot.
You're all brains.
No, I'm like, what if you're a stupid person, but
Okay.
you want to own a business and you come up across this thing and you're like, oh, you know, I'll make a deal with you. Like, I'll keep you company, but you tell me how to run everything because I'm too dumb for it. And you be like my little business partner.
So far, all these monsters sound like they need friends.
Right?
You're not wrong. All right.
You guys are going to hear that a lot. Hopefully not during the main campaign because it's generally too early, but Books and Brew, just be prepared for the next 6 months easily. I think we got fireworks into December and January after 4th of July because people are freaking weird.
California, the city or the state of constant celebration of what? We don't know. We just want to party. The brain in the jar does have a few actions it can do. It can do chill touch.
Ooh.
Right. Yeah, now do you want to fuck with his brain. So it can attack a creature. Obviously it does 3d8 necrotic damage, and upon hit, or until the start of the brain's next turn, the target cannot regain hit points. It also has disadvantage on attack rolls against the brain.
That's what killed me, Rar Temple.
It's not a spell to scoff at. It has Mind Blast that has to recharge if you roll a 5 or 6 on a d6 every turn. Chill Touch, you have to touch the target. How's that? Chill Touch is not what you think. It is neither cold damage or a hand.
You don't have to touch it. You have to be within 120 feet.
It is a necrotic energy that comes out, and if it hits you, you cannot regain hit points. I don't know why they named it Chill Touch. It was honestly really poor naming.
I think they just meant the idea of it, because it's like...
Ooh, that's good. That's real good. They turn out to be... They are now a brain in the jar. Oh, shit.
No.
Now I'm getting some ideas.
No.
Anyways, they have Mind Blast, as I was mentioning before. The brain magically emits psionic energy in a 60-foot cone. Each creature in that area must succeed a DC 14 intelligence saving throw or take 3d8 plus 4 psychic damage and be stunned for 1 minute.
And then the brain has been swapped by a carrion.
And then the carrion turns into a hag. I don't know who's...
I don't want to live in this world we're making.
This is getting a little insane. Lastly, they have innate spellcasting. They have psionics. The brain can cast one of the following spells requiring no components and using its intelligence modifier as its attack and save.
A brain with an army of carrionet hags.
Oof. Porcelain hags, I'm calling them that.
Nope.
At will, they can cast Detect Thoughts, Mage Hand. Oh, they can cast Mage Hand. They can actually hold stuff.
Swell.
I mean, they can't swing with a weapon, but they can pull levers and things. They can close doors. That's nice.
Hashtag porcelain hag.
Porcelain hag is...
It's gonna be trendy now.
So good.
Grain's gonna go over there and post it on all the socials.
And this makes sense too. They can cast this at will. Zone of Truth.
Oh, that kind of makes sense. This kind of reminds me of like a low level, way down there wannabe beholder.
Either that or a low level mind flare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
like
I got
mind
like
people.
it seems like they got traits from it.
Yeah. They can also cast 3 times a day, Charm Person or Hold Person, and they can cast 1 time a day, either Compulsion, Hold Monster, Sleep at level 3, or Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
I mean, a brain making you fall into Tasha's Hideous Laughter is kind of creepy and cool at the same time.
That's a very good use, right?
Never thought I'd see a fucking laughing tiger, but you know, we can tank.
That was weird.
Tank. I can't talk either. Thank Temple for that.
I didn't expect it to work, but it worked. So I think that's pretty much it for Ravencroft.
Ravenloft.
Loft.
L.
Where am I getting Croft from?
I don't know. Fucking. Are you
Am I
thinking
thinking
of Tomb Raider?
I'm thinking of Tomb Raider. I'm definitely thinking of Tomb
Two
Raider.
different things.
Lara Croft. I'm definitely thinking of Lara Croft. So we have a maze controlled by a brain in the jar, and the maze is filled with carionets and porcelain hags.
We should make. I mean, maybe you guys will agree with me. We can bug Mike to do it.
I'm gonna make
maybe
it-
you should make a sub channel for our ideas stemmed from books and brew.
Just ideas. Any ideas
Yeah.
for like custom monsters? I would love to run a one shot called the Meat Grinder,
Oh, you've talked about this.
where you just create a character, and it's gonna die. Just how far can you get?
I think I get
That'd be
too.
fun.
I get too attached. That's the problem.
Make the min-max character that you want to at level 15. I don't give a shit. Let's see how far you can go.
I don't know. I put a lot of time into making them, even when I do it for a one shot.
That's true. You do put a lot of effort into them. So I want to talk a little bit about DM prep work and what it takes, or at least from my perspective, what I generally do whenever it comes to prepping for a game, thinking of scenarios or puzzles or what have you, NPCs, anything. And usually where it starts is obviously with your characters. My characters for Magic at Mosted, Vera, is a cleric. We have who's what I would consider a battle cleric, who definitely.
I wasn't intending to make her that way, but then like, I kind of thought she was gonna have to be that way.
It makes sense because you've chosen an Unearthed Arcana subclass, which is the
Unity cleric.
Unity domain,
Yeah.
which is very shared burdens and trying to protect people in close range. So you do want to get up and personal. So we have a battle cleric. We have a very arcane focus rogue, an arcane trickster, which is Savannah. And we have a very tanky and heavy hitting barbarian.
Juggernaut barbarian.
Very much a juggernaut barbarian.
He's an Unearthed Arcana too. Huh?
He is. Yeah. He's very much like,
We're the oddballs.
you break it, I'll break your house down. He's very much the wolf in the three pigs scenario.
He means well though, just don't piss him off.
Yeah.
Probably he's not bad. He's a very nice person. Just don't piss him off.
So when it comes to DM prep, what I do is I sort of try to design encounters around my players. I know that my players are very much, majority of them are very much heavy, up and close, in your face when it comes to fights. When it comes to RP, I got to know their characters
I cried way too much.
at session 0 and the earlier sessions when it wasn't very high stakes. I got to know like what they look for, what they appreciate, what they kind of sort of
What our
move
goals
towards.
were.
Yeah, what the pull is, what the push is, and so you start to get an idea of what your players like to do. I don't want to throw my players into a very puzzle-heavy game because I know my players now. They're not really into like, okay, we're gonna sit and we're gonna write down numbers to letters and we're gonna try to figure out a code. And it's like, it doesn't fit my players' mentalities. And
We try, but then we're often not great at it.
yeah, so you need to know your players' strengths and weaknesses. My players' weaknesses is puzzles. And when I mean puzzles, I mean like...
Your types of puzzles, because I normally like puzzles, but not that type.
I gave
Yours
you some
is
pretty
like
good
word-
puzzles when you were going down to the Raven's Kiss.
And then you were wordplay. Yeah, we fucked up. We were tired on that side.
Yeah.
We did every combination.
It didn't take you that long until you figured it out, but it did take a spark. So, what I do now is that I try to make traps and puzzles that, or at least slight puzzles. I don't want to go too deep into it, but I don't want to negate puzzles altogether. I generally focus on combat. That's because my players enjoy it. My players love to show off their new abilities, working together with the environment and themselves, and just sort of surviving. And I also noticed that my players like role-playing. There have been multiple times where I haven't had to say a word for 15 minutes because they're role-playing with each other. That's brilliant. I like that. So when it comes to prep time, that's usually what I'm looking for. Is I'm looking to put in a little more role-playing options. Either that means putting them into a
Complicated situation.
Whether or maybe an interesting place that they can talk about. Maybe they go into a village full of furbolgs, like we are now, and now you kind of want to go, what's going on over here? What's happening over here? And full disclosure, when I build a city, I usually write about. Oh,
What happened?
are we running into some?
Run into lag.
Hope not. No, we're good? Thank you.
I just went like this for no reason.
That was weird.
No firework this time.
We had a few drop frames. It shows here that we have a few drop frames, but hey, we're back now. It's all green. So, whenever I build a city, and this is for your knowledge too now, is I write. I want to go with what the city does.
I think you've told me some of it.
How do they contribute to the grander scale of a kingdom or a continent?
What they're known for.
What they're known for. Because usually cities, this is true with all cities, they kind of want to get that, like, state money. So they usually have to build something. Oh, are you running into another? Sorry, guys.
Oh yeah, maybe we do got a little bit. I could see it on that camera, but I think it's just me.
We'll see.
But I look fine over here, but over there it looks a little laggy.
There we go. There we go.
Cleaning the camera. Swatting a fly.
All right, guys. Okay, we're back. So I think we're gonna sort of wrap this up a little bit because we're running into some internet issues. I don't know what's going on. But essentially, whenever I build a city, they have to be known for something because most cities, most real life, want to be known for something. Whether that means they have the biggest yarn ball, or like Vegas, they're known for, like, you know, gambling in the Strip, or Las Vegas, they're known for movies and Hollywood. Most cities have an identity. So you usually want to pick an identity. And you can definitely, you know, like I did that for Revine, as I basically made it Vegas, and I made it very clear. It's Vegas. You know what you're getting.
D&D Vegas.
D&D Vegas, what do you expect? And so, yeah, like a good example here, like maybe there are giant bugs in the area. Like giant mosquitoes. Like it's known for that, for giant insects. Mm-hmm. And the locals tell you, when you go to sleep, make sure you close your shutters because you don't want any bugs to come in. It happens. It's just the way this place is. You know, and they're used to it. They found a way, and then you get to start getting deeper into a city. You can go, all right, a city is known for giant bugs. How do they deal with it? Why are they still here? Why is there a city? Maybe the bugs are good eats, and they kill the bugs for food.
You mean like the lizards?
Yeah.
Fried lizards.
And then all of a sudden you have an economy where people are killing bugs, cooking them up, and selling them on the street, and going, hey, what? Giant mosquito! Hey, giant wings. You fried them. Pretty good. Or maybe they are used as rides or mounts. Maybe you end up riding a giant cockroach. You know, or maybe some like flying bugs. Like you can get into it, and all of a sudden you're seeing people riding these giant, you know, bugs going back and forth, and you're like, what the fuck's going on? So you can definitely take one small concept and stretch it into a giant thing. You just need to sit down and ask yourself, all right, now that they have giant bugs, or in like Revine's case, now that they have gambling is legal in this place, why is that? Well,
a lot of hookers.
Probably because, you know, like, why would this one place allow gambling and prostitution while other places are saying no to that? Well, probably because it has loose morals. Maybe the mayor is, you know, something's happening there, or maybe like there is someone running it in the behind the scenes, like a criminal organization.
Pretty much.
So, And you can definitely don't have to subjugate a city to one personality. Revine, again, I'm going to use it as an example, has two personalities. It has its Vegas terms, and it actually has a haunted warning to all citizens, and that is don't talk about the Blake Manor, don't go to the Blake Manor. So now it's got a duality where you can have some fun, there is no rules here, there's a rule here. We're kidding. I'm just kidding, there's a rule here, don't talk about Blake Manor, I swear to God. So you could definitely take one idea from a city's personality and stretch it into a giant thing that, you know, you walk into this giant bug town and there's a guy who has the leg of a mantis and he's just sticking his teeth with it. And he sees you coming and he's like, oh, welcome to the shop. And it's just that little small added of flavor in terms of characters where you're like, I'm definitely in a new place, you know? And so that's where it comes from, is that usually what I do is I sort of come up with a town's personality and then I write a paragraph. They do this. They're known for this. This probably happens in the city. And then you can write about, I would usually write about 1 to 3 important NPCs. And you just write down, you know, this NPC is the head of the guild. This NPC is the mayor. And this NPC is known as the guardian who walks around and protects the city. These are important characters that the players may run into. And then you have to think about what this city would possibly have. Would a bug town have a blacksmith? Probably not, because probably a bug town is probably in the swamps. Not a lot of mountains to dig ore for. Does it have a leathersmith? Maybe. It's probably a little small farm somewhere.
You make it out of bug hide.
You could make it out of bug. Like, it'd be interesting hide that you're like, I'll take that leather armor. Why does this feel weird?
An exoskeleton.
Yeah, like, this is harder leather than I've ever worked with. And they're like, yeah, it's made here. And maybe you can use that as sort of a bouncing point to go, not only is it harder, it'll also reduce damage by 1. You can definitely get a little creative. Just that one idea stretches so far. It's light but sturdy, yeah. So it's one of those things where you really want to come up with the town's personality and it shapes it from there. That's how I do it. Mm-hmm. Oh, and also do this. Write an opening for the town. This is what I do, is I usually write about 2 paragraphs, maybe less, of just a town and just put down like, you are finally cresting the forest as you start to go over this hill, and as the tree line starts to diminish and become a little more clear for you to see through, you finally see a city down below over this hill. And you can actually point out some physical attributes of this city. You can see giant bugs flying left and right. You can hear the buzzing even from this distance. You actually get freaked out as you start to hear one come out of the forest, kind of looks in your direction and runs off in a quick manner. And as you start to get closer and closer, you start to smell something that is very odd.
1 sec, the whole house is gonna shake because somebody
everything's
wants
shaking
to
now.
prove a point with their
And
stereo.
you can describe things like, what would this bug town be like? Definitely the huts, as we're in this swamp-like area, are loose, rickety, wood that was taken from sort of weak and bendable, malleable wood that grows here, and is placed upon really rusted metal that isn't really found here a lot. There's not a lot of stone. It's either mud, gravel, not even gravel, probably just like mud and dirt and wood. That's what this town would have. That's just pulling out of my ass right now.
I wouldn't say out of your ass. Nobody wants that.
You don't want Bugtown?
No.
I'm gonna give you Bugtown. And you have a one shot.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about it.
I know you're not gonna talk about it.
Plus, it's very far.
And I will say this
away.
is that I don't think you need to make a town. I don't know. I honestly don't know. We'll see what you're gonna do.
You guys aren't gonna start off in a town, that's for sure.
It's true. But I think that's going to end it for today, guys. You want a big town? You want Bucktown? Because that's how you get Bucktown. Pick up those donuts. So I think that's where we're going to end it here today, guys. We have Magic at Mossstead tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is our main campaign. We're going to be on episode 26.
And we have new things to show tomorrow.
There's a lot of new things to show tomorrow.
A lot of new things.
We have a lot of announcements to make. I think we really need to make... Let's do that now, and we'll do it again tomorrow. If I'm going to actually find out...
Yeah, because it's already posted.
No, one of our friends. And
I was like, what? We have too many things. We will have new art tomorrow. Courtesy of Titanfish Killer.
Thank you so much, Titan.
She has done our character portraits and a group character portrait, so that will be shown tomorrow. Or if you follow her on Instagram, she's given you a small little insight of what we all kind of look like, or how she's drawn us as and made us all together.
We were playing with taken images, just sort of images we found, and obviously they weren't ours, and we didn't want to keep them for the longest time. We wanted to get our own. And like Amber mentioned, we finally worked together with one of our artist friends. We love Titan. She's a really great role player and artist. She's
also been on a couple of our one-shots.
Absolutely. And
so Minor Architects, and then the showroom.
The showroom. And I'm really happy the way that things came out. So we're players. And so you can actually see the real-life examples, not taken from anything, of what our players look like.
Originally created.
In addition, I want to give a quick shout out to cozygamer.shop on Instagram. And I'm going to spell that.
cozygamerdice.shop.
No, I'm actually looking at it here.
Oh, okay.
So it is cozygamer.shop. I really highly encourage you guys, if you can, please go give her a follow, like some of her stuff if you like. She was currently...
it's cozy what?
cozygamer.shop. She was unfortunately involved with a fraud account, and Instagram, in their grand knowledge, decided to deactivate her original account that was doing wonderfully, to be honest. And it's quite unfortunate that they pretty much took away her channel and left the imposter. It's really upsetting. But she's created a new one, and I'm encouraging everyone here who views this and who cares about independent business owners and creators, especially creators who put their heart and soul into their craft, to follow. If you can, please do so, and do the same to Titanfish Killer. Titanfish Killer, there's no spaces, on Instagram as well. She makes some amazing chibi art and some stickers and posters, so you should go check it out.
And she does have commissions like ours.
Commissions are open too.
You can go to the Discord, I'll type it in there. I thought I had rights to type it in here, but I think Mike has to do it.
Well, or maybe I've never set up the bot. I guess I know what I'm doing after stream.
You did have it set up.
I thought I did. But that's fine. I'm gonna go and send that now.
Fixing some stuff. But yeah. I felt bad. She had like thousands of followers, and then she got hacked.
I felt so bad.
You want to know what it is, though? It's like Cozy Major Shop. It's not even Cozy Gamer. They just replaced a letter.
Yeah.
And then took her
They
picture.
put Shop A. They put an E at Shop.
Yeah, I sent it to a couple people to report it, because apparently Instagram doesn't want to take down the fake account, but they took down the original account that was hers, that belonged to the actual creator. So, you know.
Yeah. You know, smart.
Fun.
But, yeah. Please give her a follow. And, you know, she's been in one of our one-shots before, Cozy Gamer.
Yeah, she was in the showroom.
And she's a great person.
We have lots of dice from her. I went back and edited all our Instagram posts and put the new handle in there. Whoop. Yay.
I wish her nothing but the best. Both her and Titan are amazing players and friends of ours, so please show them some love.
And Dungeon Journals.
And Dungeon Journals, absolutely.
Aspen from Dungeon Journals. One of these. Hold on.
You want to show? Oh, do you have it on hand?
I've moved a lot of stuff around.
We did clean up a bit.
Well, no, it's because I had like 2 laptops up.
Another one of our friends, Dungeon Journal or Aspen, on our server, makes these amazing, campaign and character journals. I believe it has like stat sheets.
I'll open it.
The leather itself is made from buffalo. Everything is inside is handmade. You can definitely see the inside too. Everything is done so in such a great.
The paper is like really soft, actually.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like paper.
Oh, and starting tomorrow, we actually have a semi-sponsor.
It has your backstory.
But we'll get into that tomorrow.
These are just notes, but I have like 5 notebooks, so this is gonna go to the collection there.
All right, guys. We're gonna say goodbye once more, and we'll check you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.